Hi, thanks for joining us. Another episode of Money TV. I'm Don Balarjian. So glad you could join us. Money TV is the program all about money and what makes it happen. I remember a great party game when I was in college was try to get people to remember the names of the 7 dwarfs from the Snow White stories. Now, it was pretty easy to come up with Happy, Sleepy, and Dopey, but after that, people had a more difficult time, and that's when the fun began. Kind of reminds me of the candidates who have declared for president in 2016. Somewhere around 20 at last count when you combine both the Republicans and the Democrats. We could have a new party game. Name the candidates, kind of like the 7 dwarfs. Now, Donald Trump, he acts grumpy, but he's easily the most happy because he's surged to the top of the GOP polls largely on the strength of the media's all Trump all the time programming. I've never seen such 24/7 coverage of a single candidate as we've witnessed with Trump. If the Donald were to jaywalk one day, CNN would no doubt break from regular programming with exclusive traffic cam footage and Wolf Blitzer commentary. Now, Hillary Clinton, well, she'd like you to think she's Snow White, but I'm sure she's much closer to grumpy. After all, this was supposed to be her coronation. Her path to the White House was going to be unimpeded. But the only press coverage she gets these days has to do with deleted emails, foreign money, and is she really Chelsea's mother? Now, Dr. Ben Carson is Doc for no other reason than the fact that Carson actually is a doc, and Doc is always one of the 7 dwarfs most everyone forgets when playing the party game. Same thing seems to be happening to Dr. Carson's campaign. Can anyone be more bashful than poor Jeb Bush? For weeks we were told he was the front runner, but I don't think anyone ever believed that. The country is suffering from Bush fatigue. He's living in the shadow of both his father and his brother. Jeb is certainly bashful about his chances. Now, coming up with a presidential candidate most like Dopey was actually kind of simple. Vice President Joe Biden, whilst not having officially declared, has proven to have the penchant to say and do the absolute wrong thing at the absolute wrong times and has earned the nickname Crazy Uncle Joe. I gave Sneezy to Bernie Sanders because he makes a lot of noise, doesn't really say anything. As far as Sleepy is concerned, we'll pick any of the remaining candidates because this is where the party game becomes challenging and people try to remember Fiorina, Jindal, Christie, Chafee, Perry, Santorum, Paul. I know there are others, but realistically, after Sleepy, Happy, Dopey, Sneezy, Grumpy, Bashful, and Doc, does it really matter? And joining us now on the phone is Greg Lambrecht. Greg is the CEO of Single Point Incorporated, SING is the stock symbol. Good to hear from you again, Greg.
Oh, hey, thanks for having me, Don.
I know we have a very full plate of information this week, so I'm going to go ahead and give you the floor. Tell us what's going on.
Well, I'm up in our Seattle offices, and this is a very exciting week for us. We've got word from our auditors that after 6 months and a lot of work, it looks like we could wrap up our audit this week and then start filling out the Form 10 to get up to the OTC QB.
Well, that's remarkable. What else is going on?
Well, the other exciting thing that's going on is that we announced last week that we signed an LOI to acquire a company called Text-to-Bid out of Bellevue, Washington. It's a company that has mobilized auctions, so it's right in our wheelhouse. And we're at the final stages of completing the asset purchase agreement. And in shopping this out to investors, we've really had a great response. So we're very optimistic about closing this deal.
Well, that's great. So you have 2 big events this week. You're getting very close to finishing your audit. Of course, the LOI is getting ready to go into the next phase. I also know that the company has basically put out a private placement memorandum, and there's information available about that. What can you tell us about it?
Well, yes, we have an investment deck and an investment documents that are on our website, and we invite any of your listeners and investors to go to our website at singlepoint.com and fill out your name, address, phone number, and email, and sign a non-disclosure, and we'll be happy to get out the investment docs. We think this is a very exciting opportunity and would love to have your listeners participate.
Once again, the website is singlepoint.com. The company is Single Point Incorporated. Their stock symbol is SING. Greg, congratulations on the developments, and we look forward to hearing more from you in the future.
Thanks, Don.
Listen carefully. If your student loan debt is overwhelming you and things seem hopeless, we've got great news.
If you're still struggling with your student loan debt, there are government programs available that may actually lower your payments by consolidating your federal student loans. Just call us. We'll review your situation and work with you to consolidate your debt. In many cases, depending on your situation, we can lower your monthly payments in half or more. It doesn't matter how much you owe or how far behind you are. Even if you're in default, call us right now to find out how we can lower your payment in half immediately. You can stop the harassing phone calls and the wage garnishments. All you need to do is pick up the phone and call us right now. We can remove your default status, consolidate your federal student loans, lower your payments, and we can do it today. Stop worrying. This is a real solution that can help. So please call us right now.
Call now, 855-820-3296, 855-820-3296.
And joining me in studio now is Tom Djokovic. Tom is the CEO of XNX Incorporated. XSNX is their stock symbol. Tom, good to see you again.
Thanks, Don. Great to be back.
Now, it's been a fascinating ride watching your company, especially in the last couple, 3 years, where you've moved into the solar installation market in Southern California. You are concentrating largely in the not in the residential, but on the commercial installations. Tell us more about that.
Well, yeah, commercial space we believe is really got the most growth potential. Residential is heavily marketed already. It's still definitely a growing market sector. I mean, there's a lot of residential yet to install, but commercial we think is the looming 800-pound gorilla there, and that's why we really focus on trying to develop a presence and a brand as commercial experts, the turn-to company in Southern California for commercial. So that's we're very pleased with our success on that so far as well.
Now, we had a conversation before going on the air where you said you're sending out a marketing piece, many thousands of flyers, so to speak. We're taking a look at one of those right now. Tell us what we're looking at.
We target different sectors, different kinds of business owners, different size businesses. This is an example of a marketing piece that goes out to businesses 3,000 square feet or larger. So typically something that's going to maybe be a 30 kilowatt to maybe 100 kilowatt size customer. And we mail these direct to them, and we get a relatively decent return rate. We get anywhere from 10 to 20 calls per thousand, which isn't too bad considering this is still a developing market, but we're very pleased with that. And we have other programs we're developing and mailing out as well for, let's say, 40,000 square foot or larger leased facilities. Companies typically have long-term leases, and there's a lot of value for them adding solar as well.
Well, how can a recipient, not react to a flyer that says, if we can't save you money, we'll pay you?
Well, what we do there specifically, Don, is we guarantee that we're going to get this installation done within a timely fashion, or we'll start paying the same value of electricity that the system would have produced for you. And so the customer doesn't have to worry about some contractor showing up with a beat-up pickup truck and a ladder and a shovel and spending the next 12 months wasting their time trying to install something. So we show up, we're efficient, we get the job done quickly, and as promised.
Now, a few weeks ago, we had the privilege of going out to one of your job sites, an installation site in Anaheim. It was fascinating. How's the progress of that job site?
Well, Don, that job's done. It was a great job. It was close to 800 solar modules, a little over a quarter megawatt. Actually produces 100% of that client's actual annual kilowatt hour usage, and offsets about 60% of their bill. System will pay for itself in right about 36 months. Wow. So it's a fabulous investment, and that particular customer is extremely pleased.
So the minute you turn that system on, his electric bill went away?
No, 60% of it goes away. The utilities charge several different ways, monthly minimums, and they also charge for the intensity of energy. It's called demand charges. And we have technologies that can help mitigate demand charges as well. But it kind of depends on what type of business you have.
But he's certainly saving a significant amount of money.
Well, 60%.
That's nice.
60%. That's a good chunk.
My family and I were driving through the UC Irvine campus just a few weeks ago, and we happened to pass by these carports.
Right.
They built for the students near the dormitories and the classrooms, and every one of these carports had solar panels on the roof. And we both said to each other, that makes so much sense. Is that something you're thinking of getting into?
Well, Don, we're already into it. We already have contracts to actually install the carport systems. And what we've done is we've gone out and set up a direct buying relationship from the people who make the steel support structures. And my background as general contractor since 1979, I've got a lot of experience in setting steel. I have access to all the qualified crews. And so we're going to start doing that ourselves. That's enabled us to really shave quite a few cents per watt off the installation cost, probably close to about 25 cents per watt. That brings us down below $3 a watt for the average carport installation. People get a first-class quality product. And what's really interesting, and we're using this in marketing pieces or going out, the average parking spot in Southern California is worth about $600 a year in electrical production. Now that varies, but $600 a year, that you get 100 spots, several hundred spots, and now you know why University of Irvine, and other hospitals, places like that, use carports because of the tremendous value from the electricity produced there.
Well, people that are watching us in states like Michigan and Illinois probably have no idea what a carport is, but basically their purpose is to shade a vehicle from the sun. It only makes sense that you would use that surface to generate electricity.
Oh, absolutely. It's a great use, and it's a great way to, as you know, most roofs, especially commercial rooftops, can be really encumbered with all different kinds of facilities that really reduce our ability to install solar. So when you can then expand into a carport area or parking area, you can take from going from only doing 40, 50, 60% of a customer's needs to satisfying 100% of their needs, and that's where the value really starts to pay off.
So when you do a project like that, it's soup to nuts. You're actually building the carport complete with the solar panels.
Yes, start to finish, even restriping the parking spots if necessary.
Once again, the company is X and X Incorporated. Their stock symbols X, S, and X. Tom, so fascinating. I mean, we're basically watching this new technology mature right before our eyes, and you're right in the forefront of it.
Well, it is an exciting space, Don, and we're looking forward to big things here in the future.
Well, thanks for joining us once again.
Thanks.
Well, like we don't have enough to worry about, now hackers have the ability to get control of our vehicles. Is your vehicle safe? If you don't know, be sure to listen to the Money Wrap radio program this week. To find a radio station near you or for more information, just go to moneywrap.com. Be sure and visit us at moneytv.net. Please like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. That's our program this week. As always, we'll be back next week. Thanks so much for joining us.